Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Career Talks by Council Co, where dreams meet reality. This is a platform which gets you in touch with professionals who are stalwarts in their own field and can give you advice as to what are the real life experiences and how they took things forward to lead to a career that's really successful. But that's not it. We even take a student's perspective to understand that the young embarking on this journey, what are their dreams, what are their aspirations, what are their experiences, and how they can guide you to make better career choices. Today we have with us one such stalwart from the field of interior designing, Miss Beena Ramya. Hello Beena, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. So Beena, before we begin, can you please let our audience know a little bit about you and your experience in your field?
So I started my career very late. So that is first thing that I want everybody to let them know. I started at the age of 40. I did my post graduation and then I was not working for a couple of years. Then I started afresh, where I picked up everything from starting and started my career and bloomed in that career. So if I can do it, everybody can do it. That's the message I want to pass.
So that's a really inspirational way in which we can begin this talk. So Beena, tell me, there's generally a confusion amongst people as to what is different between interior designing, interior decorating and architecture. So it's a generally very confused understanding or ideology. Can you shed light on what's the difference between all the three?
All these three words are used simultaneously and they replace each other, but they have a very different role to play. As an architect, you take care of exterior, you plan the spaces, you see to it that how the lighting will come, what are the norms that they have to follow, where the beam, column, how the structure will be. As an interior designer's duty is to take care of aesthetics. It is the space planning. They have to analyze the space, how the movement will be. You have to understand their basic workflow, how they stay in the house or how they stay in the space, and what should be the outcome of that space, that how the ambience should be and how you should be feeling about the space. So it is more of an analytical skill and a psychological skill that you have to develop as an interior designer. And interior decorators are people who don't break the space. They work with whatever is available and they rearrange the space and make it beautiful. So these are three very different areas.
That was the first time that even I gained more clarity. Otherwise, almost everything was same for us.
Yes.
So one looks after the functionality or the general structure, the other about enhancement and better utilization of space, and the third about beautifying the existing space to match a person's personality.
Yeah.
So one thing that I took away from you when I was listening to you is that other than your designing skills, there are a lot of other skills that one needs. Like as you said, you need to analyze the people, you need to get into their psychology, learn about their flow. So would you say that being an interior designer or a decorator is not only about knowing your art, it's about other skill sets also?
Yes. It is generally said that an interior designer is engineer by mind and an artist by heart. That means you have to have analyzing skills, you have to have problem solving skills, you should know the personality of the person, you should learn the negotiation skills, interpersonal relationship and communication skills. Apart from that, you need time management and project management too. So it is a wholesome thing. So when you become an interior designer, you learn so many things at a time to be successful interior designer.
Okay. So we understand there are a lot of children who are very good with their visual spatial or who have an eye or a knack for colors and all, but they would not think of this as a field, or they don't know how to explore their interest in this field. So is there anything that young people, maybe like grade 10th, 11th and 12th, can do to understand better if they are meant for this field or not?
See, initially you can try yourself with taking like you take part in different contests to understand it. You should understand colors. You can you can take elementary and intermediate exams so that you understand whether you are interested in this field or not.
Okay.
And there is a misconception that people feel that only if I am good at drawing, I can do it. I can be an interior designer,
Right.
but it is not that.
Okay.
As an interior designer, we mostly work with computer. It is not that you have to have free hand, that you develop over a period of time. But that basic skills are understanding spaces. Whenever you go, do you understand dimensions? So these are certain things that they can explore.
Yeah, so basically more visualization skills in 3D is something where you understand
Yes,
perspectives and
yes,
depth and
yes,
everything like
yes.
that. So that's great. Now with the new evolving trends that are coming up, are there any specific specializations that have come up in the field of interior design per se?
Interior designing is basically comprising of like main two fields, that is residential interiors and commercial interiors.
Okay.
In residential interiors is designing home spaces, homes, bungalows and other areas, whereas commercial spaces include commercial designing includes office designing. You can be part of wellness industry where you do hospitality, hospital designings, hospitality designing, and even resort designing and all that. Apart from that, you can try set designing, exhibition stall designing, and even lighting designers. So that is at a second level. Once you explore interiors, you will come to know which area you are good at and what makes you feel interested. Because everything needs a different level of specialization.
Okay, so that would come as a stage 2 once you
Yes.
enter the field
Yes.
of interior
Yes.
designing. Having said that, your profile or your portfolio is very important when you're going out in the job field to find a job. Is it easy for a newcomer or a fresher to enter into a good internship or a good firm? Or what is it that they need to develop before if they're planning to work in this field?
See, Intershala is one space where they give internship, and there are few others, but generally internship is always from colleges, from whichever college that you are part of. They give you that exposure. But like when you are developing this skill, first of all, traveling is very important. If you travel a lot, you can absorb many things which unconsciously or subconsciously you take, and that you put into designing.
Okay.
Right now there is exposure to social media too. You can get in touch with good interior designers, or you can follow their page. There are YouTube videos that you can follow. There are couple of workshops which are available in the market, which that you don't need to be an interior designer to do that. But if you do that workshops, you will come to know that where I stand and what I need to develop. And whatever the interior trends that comes from Paris. So Salon de Mobile is an exhibition that happens there. So lot of things are available on net which you can explore, and you can get in touch with that.
Okay.
And side by side you can even explore the market, where you can go to shops and explore different materials to see what new materials are available in the market. This general knowledge will help you develop your designing skills, and then that can help you go to next level.
So I think what I take away from what you have said is that designing is an ever evolving field and a field where
Yes,
you'll never
it
stop
is.
learning. Other than that, another thing that I took away from you is how do you take your experiences and you translate that into your work.
Yes.
Now,
And working for like when you start, nobody will give you projects initially. So either you can make like a virtual portfolio where you take up a space, you design that space differently, you create different concepts, so you understand how am I working, what are my challenges. There are certain designers, like you can get associated with designers for free. You do free spaces, like free, you take up free work or less paid work, but take an experience initially, because whatever you work, like however much you study, but practical experience is completely different. So whatever you learn on site, whatever you actually learn on site, that makes the difference.
yeah, so Beena, I think many of our viewers would also like to know that in grade 11th and 12th, people really don't have a clear idea whether they're meant for interior designing or not. So, first is understanding whether you love to work in that space. So, are there small creative hacks that they can do, or maybe, just do something that will make them realize whether it's something that they want to do on a continual basis?
See, designing principles are same everywhere. So you start up with your dressing. The way you dress up tells so much about yourself. You start experimenting with dressing, how you dress up. Do up some space where like a small corner and see how you can do it. But practically, until and unless, like it is said, until and unless you jump into the water, you don't learn swimming. So designing, interior designing has two parts. One is designing the space, and the second part is executing the space. When it comes to execution, it is lot of interpersonal skills, lot of communication skills, because A, you are working with laborers. So laborers, to deal with them, you need a different skill set. And
Right.
B, you are working with your clients. So for that, you have to be very polished. You have to make them understand why you are doing this, and why you are not doing the way they want you to do. So it is amalgamation of too many skills. So until and unless practically you jump into the water, you don't understand what interior designing is. But like you can take aptitude test where they test your creative visualization skills. So you at least know you are ready for that.
Right. So yeah, I understand that aptitude test would definitely help out, but I think when I hear you, I also understand that attitude test is very important as to
Yes.
what is your attitude towards work,
Yes.
what is your attitude towards people, because as I understand from our conversation, it's a very people-led kind of a work.
Yes.
You are dealing with two completely different stratas and it can turn out to be difficult. So when you say that people skills is something that you need to have, I think to succeed in any field now, what would you recommend that people, I mean youngsters or children develop? Because I'm sure that our tolerance level and theirs was very different. So what is it that they need to develop and work on if they're going to be working in any creative field where your vision might not translate into your client's vision?
See, negotiation skills are needed, communication skills are needed, interpersonal relationship is needed. So start with some difficult relative in your family, or start with some small difficult client and see how much you can convince. See your temperament, see if you are not irritated with it, because this will happen day in day out, and you can't lose all your customers. So it is very important to be very calm and cool and very objective about your work. You can't be subjective, because as an interior designer, when we design the spaces, half of the time it happens that people are in very rush of getting their homes back, so they pull us that you just finish and you go away. That last two months are very difficult as an interior designer to deal with them, but you have to keep your cool so that you give them best space. After 6 months, that same clients comes to you and they tell us that you have done lovely work and they recommend you. So basically, understand your client, deal with them, develop communication skills, and keep your eye open wherever you go, so that you absorb a lot from environment.
Great.
That
So
is what
I
would
think
suggest.
patience and observation are two things that are
Yes.
completely necessary if you want to do
Yes.
well in this field.
It is more about problem solving. So
Right.
until and unless you understand people, how you can solve somebody's problem.
Right. So while we keep calm and we work on, Veena, tell me something that you are also dealing with the newer and younger generation who have so many new ideas, right? And what is the difference that you notice between the way you have worked or we used to work 10 years ago and the way we work now? Because I think we are now looking at a generation that's emerging and they need to have a blend of both.
See, when I started my work, I started dealing with computer when I was in post graduation. So that time even AutoCAD was not available. That time we used to work in VersaCAD, and that was very new to us. Now interior designing has transformed completely. So the day you started designing, you start with AutoCAD, 3D Max and all other software. Now AI is available, VR is available. You need to understand, like you grasp that skills, it will help you grow. But it is not that if you don't know AI and VR you cannot grow, but AutoCAD and 3D Max is necessary. Secondly, I would tell as a human being, we were very mellow down.
Right.
The new generation is very smart. They are very upfront when they deal with design. When they deal with clients, they are very clear about their requirements, and they will not take nonsense, which is one skill that we as a human being want to learn from the new generation, I would say.
Yeah, so I think that is something that's really nice.
Yes.
Coming right now, everybody is on about sustainability and using products that do not harm the environment or have a long-lasting effect on your house. And innovation, obviously, because everybody wants something different. So those, as you said rightly, that you continuously need to upscale and upgrade yourself. Are there any other things that you need to keep in mind while you are preparing yourself to be a designer, interior designer?
See, upcycling and using old materials and making new one is one thing that I do in all sites.
Okay.
So we don't throw away everything that is available. We utilize it. So that is one thing that should be kept in mind. Like if you are taking up a project, try to take a completely bare shell project if it is possible, because generally what builders give, the tiles, whatever the builders give, most of the people throw it away.
Right.
So when I deal with designers, like when I deal with clients, I tell them that you change just the living room area space, rest of the things as it is covered with
Right.
with
Tiles.
furniture. So don't just remove that. So that is one thing, and use local material which is easily available in market. Work with coke and other materials which are renewable.
Right.
But there is very little scope for us as a designer in that.
Okay. Yeah. So having said that, as per my conversation with you, I have realized that people still is a huge part. It's not only your workers that you're dealing with, you're also dealing with your clients. Having said that, how important is networking
It
and
is
talking
very-
about your work in this field?
It is very important to network. because even if you are good at your work, people will not realize until and unless you go out and say that you are there. Because networking, like, until and unless you know that you have a treasure here, but people will come to you only if they know that they are finding something new here. So I would say networking is very, very important as an interior designer or as any entrepreneur who is working in any field.
Okay. So having said that, and I think networking is something that all our speakers have been talking about. Beena, tell me that many a times there are a lot of unethical designers also. So probably they charge you more for the material, or so when one looks at a field, any field, so be it interior designing or interior decorating, what are a few ethics that a person needs to keep in mind when they embark on this journey?
See, as an interior designer, when I work with clients, first of all, I don't lie to them. I tell them the truth that the site will take this many months, I will finish the site on time, this will be the budget, and my budget will not exceed. And you have to keep 20% margin for whatever the changes are made. You have to make them understand why the budget is increasing, and try, whenever you are going with them, try to make them understand that here the budget is increasing. So cut down and curtail that cost, and tell them that the same thing can happen in a lower material with good look. So you have to be very ethical, very clear and concise about whatever you say, because it is a very unorganized field. As an interior designers, we are trying to organize it, but still there are a lot of efforts to be taken in this field to make it organized industry.
Okay. So I think when all of us listen to such an experienced person, we do understand that yes, your designing skills are important, your visual spacing is important, but more important is also your communication skills, your skills to tackle problems and solve problems, your ever learning,
Yes.
and clear communication and an ethical behavior.
Yes.
So thank you, Beena, for being here with us and sharing these wonderful insights. I'm sure that aspiring interior designers would definitely take something out from this. So I really thank you for being on your show. And for those who are listening to us, we would love that you give us your comments in the drop box and continue to follow us for such stories which help you get the career that you want. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my understanding. Thank you.